Hello, everybody. Welcome to the first episode of Learning English with Poetry. My name is Arian. Today's episode will be looking at Walt Whitman. Walt Whitman is an American great, one of the first greatest American poets. And this particular poem is called A Song of Myself. In it, he describes the American democratic character. He identifies himself with all of people around the world, and he identifies himself in very naturalistic and ecological terms. What we're going to do today, in today's episode and in every episode from the series, is look at parts of poems, taking the vocabulary and expressions from them, studying them, and seeing how we can use those words and expressions in our own conversations. Okay, I will begin with a reading of the poem slowly, then we'll look at the vocabulary, look at the themes inside of it, and then reread it again, and then practice some simple conversation. Okay, here goes the first reading. Song of Myself, 1892 version. I celebrate myself and sing myself, and what I assume, you shall assume, for every atom belonging to me as good belongs to you. I loaf and invite my soul. I lean and loaf at my ease, observing a spear of summer grass. My tongue, every atom of my blood formed from the soil. This air, born here of parents, born here from parents the same, and their parents the same. I, now 37 years old, in perfect health begin, hoping to cease not till death. Creeds and schools in abeyance, retiring back a while, suffice that what they are, but never forgotten. I harbor for good or bad, I permit to speak at every hazard. Nature without check, with original energy. Pardon the mistakes I made. Okay, so this poem, as you've heard, is speaking in the first person, which is I. Second person is you. Third person is he, she, it, or a name. And he is identifying himself through actions. And they're very relaxed, almost passive, borderline passive verbs. Let me go line by line, describing the vocabulary inside of it so we can better understand it and appreciate the poem. First line reads, I celebrate myself and sing myself. Okay, celebrate is what we do for joyous occasions, for happy occasions, in honor of something. For example, things we can celebrate include, of course, our birthday. Great achievements as well can be celebrated. We celebrate the victories of our friends. We celebrate the victories of our favorite sports teams. We celebrate passing tests or making new friends or having a good day. And what I assume, you shall assume. Assume is a big word. Assume means to think that something is true, to believe another thing. To assume is to believe, to think, to say, to assert that something has to be true in order for something else to be true. So for example, I assume that since you are watching this video, you are interested in learning English. I assume that because you have ears, that you are capable of listening. I assume that because you have a lot of friends, you must be a good person. I think it's true that because you have a lot of friends, then you have to have a good personality. You have to be a good person. The next word is atom. For every atom belonging to me as good belongs to you. An atom is a very, very small part of the universe. Atom, etymologically, if we look at the history of the word and the parts of the word itself, means cannot be cut. So originally, the Greeks believed that every part of the universe can be cut down to smaller and smaller pieces, except there is a ground where a piece cannot be cut any further because it's the smallest unit in the universe. That is atom. Atom can be used figuratively. You could say, I have an atom of respect for you. I don't care an atom for what happens. An atom is just a very small piece. I loaf and invite my soul. There are three words here that I want to look at. First is loaf. Loaf is to walk around almost aimlessly, to go about in a relaxed manner, to be carefree. To loaf around has the impression of being lazy, like you have no goal to achieve at the moment. You are free to do something. Invite means to ask somebody to join. You are invited to parties. You are invited to events. You can invite your friend to an occasion or a happening about town. Soul is a part inside of you that represents you. It is what you are deep down inside, the real you, some people would say. Your soul can be good, can be wicked, can be curious, can be adventurous. What kind of soul do you think you have? What kind of souls do you like to be with? We have an expression in English, an old soul. To be an old soul means you enjoy vintage things, things from 50 years ago, to honor old virtues, to be very loyal to something, to enjoy jazz or things that more mature, older people would enjoy. For example, like classical music, going out for walks, to go for hikes, to stay away from social media, to appreciate high culture, for example, is to have an old soul or to be an old soul. The next line, I lean and loaf at my ease, observing a spear of summer grass. I lean and loaf. Lean is to kind of fall over to one side. In Italy, you might be aware of the Leaning Tower of Pisa or Pisa. I don't know how to pronounce it Italian, I'm sorry. So the Leaning Tower of Pisa, it's the famous tower that seems to be leaning as if it were about to fall over. At my ease means to be at ease, to be relaxed, to be assured that you are safe. Observe means to look, to watch, to study, to observe, to see what will happen. Next, my tongue, every atom of my blood, formed from this soil, this air, born here of parents, born here from parents the same, and their parents the same. I, now 37 years old, in perfect health begin. In perfect health, in good health, in perfect health, in good health, it means to be healthy, to be free of sickness, to be free of disease. Hoping to cease not till death, to hope, to wish for, to want to have come true. To cease means to stop. This line says hoping to cease not. So hoping to not stop, hoping to continue, in other words. Creed and abeyance. Creeds and schools and abeyance. A creed is what you believe. Interestingly, the word credit is related to the word creed. To have credit means that people have faith in you. They believe in you. So they will lend you or give you stuff or let you borrow something because they believe that you will return that thing, that you will make good on your promise. A creed is a belief. So for example, we have different creeds. If you go to shrines or temples, you have a creed. You believe in something. If you go to church, you have a creed. Your creed is you believe in a certain god or various gods. To be in abeyance means to float, to lift, to temporarily sustain or to stop, to temporarily suspend, to stop for the moment. Okay, retiring back a while. Suffice that what they are, but never forgotten. To retire means to leave work. It also means to rest. So for example, at the end of the day, we retire to our rooms, we retire to our study, we retire to our desk, if we think that studying is a form of recreation or leisure or relaxation. At the end of the day after work, we retire to our bedroom. Here it says to retire back a while. To retire back is not a common expression. We don't really use that. Suffice. To suffice means to be good enough. I'm a simple person. It suffices for me to just have a cup of coffee every day and my day is going to be a great day. It suffices enough for me to have one single cup of double shot espresso with a notebook at a cafe and I will have a good day. Maybe to count as a good friend, it would suffice that your friend makes plans with you and follows through with the plans and actually meets you. That would suffice to be a good friend. I harbor for good or bad, I permit to speak at every hazard. To harbor is to hold, to protect, to keep in place, to invite, and to host. Figuratively, if you go to a friend's house, they are harboring you, they are keeping you. I should also say it has another meaning of protect. So you may harbor a friend who is in danger. You may harbor a criminal. You may want to protect the criminal for some reason, and that is to harbor the criminal. I harbor for good or bad is to keep a place open as protection for somebody, no matter whether they are good or bad. I permit to speak. It means I allow. To permit is to allow. I allow to speak, to hear your opinion, to hear your voice. Next, nature without check with original energy. Nature without check. An interesting point about this expression is the word check. In America's founding documents, the American Constitution, we really prize and protect the notion of checks and balances. We have three branches of government, as you might know. We have the judicial, the legislative, and the executive branches. And each of them have certain privileges, but they also possess the power to check or to suspend or to pause the other branches of the government. So no single branch of government possesses absolute power. This was a way for America to protect itself from tyrannical takeover or tyrannical biases, or to further separate itself from monarchy by giving more democratic powers to its people. Okay. So let's do a quick quiz game. What I'm going to do is describe some of those words that we just looked at. And all you have to do is just think of that word or say that word. Yeah, so let's try it. The first word is a verb, and it means to ask somebody to join you in something, to ask somebody to participate in something that you are hosting or that you will be participating in as well. Did you guess the word? The word is invite, to invite somebody. The next word describes an action which means to stop, to pause. It's not abeyance, that is a noun. This verb is the opposite of to continue. And it starts with the letter C. If you guess C's, good job. Congratulations, it is C's. The next word is to believe or to hold that something is true in order to claim something else, to proclaim something else, to say something else. This is to believe that something is true or real or actual in order to understand another thing. The word starts with A. Did you guess assume? If you did, you would be correct. Good job. Another word. This word is another verb, and it describes moving back, leaving an occupation, to stop working for a while. The word is retire, to retire. Okay, now that we've studied some of the words, let's look at it stanza by stanza to understand the meaning of the poem a little bit more comprehensively, a little bit more in detail. First line, first stanza. I celebrate myself and sing myself, and what I assume you shall assume. For every atom belonging to me as good belongs to you. I celebrate myself and sing myself. Celebrate myself is quite straightforward, but the second part is a little more poetical. And sing myself, it doesn't say and sing about myself. It's saying I sing myself. It means that when I sing, I come to being. I become more of myself. I make myself through singing. I am in my song. I am my song. Okay? So he is a form of action, and not only a form of action, a celebratory, participatory, and communal action. To sing is to sing for a reason, probably to sing for somebody, to sing together, to sing in a way that everybody can hear. And what I assume, you shall assume. Why? Because what I have, you have. What I am made of, you are made of. We share and participate in the same communion, in the same world. It's a very democratic and open way to be and belong with one another. Next stanza. I loaf and invite my soul. I lean and loaf at my ease, observing a spear of summer grass. This is the type of person that Walt Whitman envisions himself as great. So the great American, the great democratic, open citizen of the world is somebody who loafs and invites my soul and leans to observe and enjoy a moment of peace, to be able in freedom, free from harm, free from stress, to enjoy the natural world with company in song. Okay? To be relaxed, to be free of mind, to be free of worry, to be free of care, to not be controlling, to allow things to be. My tongue, every atom of my blood, formed from the soil, this air. This is very important. He is describing his lineage, his history. Now, usually in older poetry, in ancient poetry, in classical poetry or literature, people were identified by their family, by their lineage, by their history, from their past. So authority of a person was inscribed or provided by the past. But here, Walt Whitman is saying, yes, I have a history, I have family as well, but so do you. We are united and we are identical. I am not better than you. We are on the same level. Why are we on the same level? Because my atoms are shared with you, and you can assume that, and it comes from this soil, this air. It sounds like it's very parochial, very nationalistic, very blood and soil. But it's not. It says this air, and we know air circulates around the world. This air is the same air that was in Asia 20 years ago. This air I breathe now is the same air or has the same atoms that were in the Mediterranean or in Africa 100 years ago or in South America 1,000 years ago. So we are coming from the same place, is what he's saying. And by right of that, we should be able to observe, lean, loaf the same grass in the same way. I, now 37 years old, in perfect health, begin. Begin what? Begin life, begin celebrating. Celebrating, hoping to cease not till death. Next stanza. Creeds and schools in abeyance, retiring back a while, suffice that what they are, but never forgotten. I harbor for good or bad. Okay, this is very, very important. He is saying that we do not need to judge others based on their creeds and their schools. School here is school of thought. A school of thought is a set of ideas that you subscribe to, that you believe. Okay? So if you believe that you can manifest your future, you can manifest what you want by thinking about it and committing your heart and soul to it, that is a school of thought that you subscribe to. If you believe that everybody is born good, but society kind of makes you worse, but not totally worse because we have freedom, that idea is part of a school of thought that you subscribe to, that you believe. Here he's saying it's an abeyance. You don't have to subscribe to it. You can change your mind. You don't have to judge other people based on what they said or what they think or where they come from. Harbor them for good or bad. Listen to them, observe them, loaf and lean with them first. I permit to speak at every hazard. Hazard is interesting. It has two meanings here. Hazard is chance, and it's also danger. So you can replace this sense with the word opportunity. I permit to speak at every opportunity. The opportunity may be good, it may be bad, we don't know. Let's just harbor and permit it to occur, and then we'll see what happens. Let us not judge and hold. Let's hold creeds and schools in abeyance. Last line, nature without check with original energy. So this whole poem is, this whole part of the poem is describing an I that is celebratory and communal, and is not identical but shares the same material as everybody else, and by that right deserves to not be judged, to be harbored, and we deserve to not check one another immediately, to give each other a chance. Okay, so that's the nature of the poem, and maybe some quick questions using the new vocabulary and ideas. Let's practice a little bit. Celebrate. What is something that you celebrate? Well, it's the New Year's, isn't it? So I'm sure you've celebrated the New Year somehow. What did you do to celebrate the New Year? As Americans, as an American, I don't speak for all Americans, but in my situation, what we usually do is watch fireworks on the television or go out to a major city like San Francisco, New York, watch fireworks go into the air, watch the ball drop on TV. And as a Filipino, what we do also is gather our piggy banks and shake them and then count our money to see what is in store for the next year, how lucky we've gotten, to appreciate for the new year the hard work that we've done and the luck that we've had in being able to save this money. So that's how we celebrate the new year. What about in perfect health? So some of us are not in perfect health, but we can become healthier if we take care of ourselves. I'm not in perfect health. I try to be in good health. What about yourself? If you were in perfect health, what would you like to begin? So for example, if I were in perfect health, I would like to travel more. I would like to participate in marathons. I've never ran a marathon in my life. If I were in perfect health, I would like to go climbing more often. I would like to climb outdoors sometime. What would you like to do in perfect health? Okay, how about another one? How about, at every hazard. How about let's change it to at every opportunity. Let's use that expression. At every opportunity, I try to learn something about myself. At every opportunity, when I go out, I try to go out with a friend. At every opportunity that I can, I look for a way to make it artistic by seeing what I could draw, by seeing what I can record, by seeing what I can collect for reference later. What do you try to do at every opportunity in your life? Okay, how about one more? The last one. How about the word retire? To retire means to leave work. Okay, so when you retire, what would you like to do? So when I retire, I would like to take care of my family. I would like to take care of my nephew. When I retire, I would like to travel Europe. When I retire, I would also love to see South America. I used to be a big fan of South American literature, contemporary South American literature, and modernist poetics also, like Lorca. Okay, so that's the end of our episode. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it was helpful. I will continue looking at Walt Whitman for the next at least 10 episodes in the series. I hope to see you again. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.